All right, so what's the difference between CPQ and a revenue cloud? So before we get into this, I wanted to just kind of call out a little bit about the terminology. There's been some confusion about what this new product from Salesforce is called, and there's been a few iterations on it. So it is called Revenue Cloud, and you might ask yourself, might ask the question, well, Revenue Cloud has already existed. Well, not quite, right? There's been the sort of this umbrella of a Revenue Cloud at Salesforce, but the products themselves, the SKUs, were CPQ and billing. And so now there is an actual SKU called Revenue Cloud, which is what this new product, formerly called as RLM, Revenue Lifecycle Management, is now called. All right, so now that we got the naming out of the way, what's the difference? So first and foremost, CPQ, formerly known as Steelbrick, is a managed package built on platform. Revenue Cloud has been built in core, so it's been built in platform. And really, what that means is the data model is now standard objects versus custom objects, and also the processing logic. All the logic of the application, the engine, is now running on the same infrastructure using the same technology as the rest of the Sales Cloud and every other application that Salesforce delivers. And so there is significant performance and reliability and security benefits of being built in platform as opposed to on it. The second big difference is the data model. The Revenue Cloud has a much more robust, but also more complex data model. So it's a more enterprise-like data model with lots of different levels of overrides, which allows you to manage large, say, product catalogs at scale, but also, introduces some complexity that needs to be managed, which we'll talk through a little bit later in the presentation. Difference number three is the APIs. Revenue Cloud has been built from the ground up to be API first. Again, these APIs are running on the same infrastructure as your regular Salesforce APIs with the same level of reliability and performance, whereas in CPQ, APIs have been added later. And because of it being built on platform as opposed to in platform and the limitations, the governors that come with that, APIs were actually built kind of calling out to Heroku and which creates both complexity, but more importantly, creates significant latency, which made it unusable for use cases like embedding CPQ in e-commerce sites, for example, or customer service portals, or your channel partner portals, right? So the e-commerce use case was very difficult. And last but not least, Revenue Cloud has been built with this omni-channel use case and vision in mind, whereas CPQ had really been built for direct sales. And, it's a little bit of a variant on my previous point, right? So what does omni-channel mean? It's being able to reuse the same product catalog, the same pricing across every channel that you sell across, whether it's direct sales, internal sales reps, or selling through channel, through partners, or enabling your customers to self-serve themselves through a customer portal or an e-commerce site.